Good morning, students. Today we will discuss cell and cell membrane physiology. In the last class, we have studied about the human system, anatomy and physiology, various terminologies used for the anatomy, their structure, how we are correlating anatomy and physiology, homeostasis and homeostasis mechanism. In those, we have discussed that the second level of organization is the cell. This cell and cell membrane is important for our homeostasis as well as the process of absorption for the nutrients as well as drugs. The cell is the basic functional and structural unit of all life. All living things are composed of cell. Cell parts are cell products. There are two types of cell: prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells have no membrane bound nucleus nor membrane bound organelles. Most are single celled. Examples are bacteria and cyanobacteria. For the human anatomy and physiology, eukaryotic cells are important. These have membrane bound nucleus and membrane bound organelles. They are either single celled or multicelled. Organelles are separated by membrane. So, several processes can be going on at once. There are certain theories for the cell. First time the cell were discovered in 1665 by Robert Hooke, and the early study of the cells were conducted by Matthews Selden in 1838 and Theodore Swan in 1839. Selden and Swan proposed the cell theory. Now, we will discuss about the cell structure. For studying the cell structure, we will categorize into three parts. One is the plasma membrane, second one is the cytoplasm, and the third one is the genetic material. Plasma membrane is a phospholipid bilayer. Cytoplasm is a semi-fluid matrix. In those, all the organelles of the cell is being suspended. Genetic material, all the genetic materials are inside the nucleus, in nucleoid or in the nucleus. So, one by one we will study about the cell. We will study all the organelles which are present in the cell. And why we are saying the organelles? Organelles means small organs, organelles. It is derived from the word organelles, means small or tiny. Then we will study the plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is equally important as the cell because all the nutrients, the drugs, gases must pass through the plasma membrane, then only it will reach to the organelles and it will be utilized for our human system. This is a typical cell structure. In that we can see various organelles like mitochondria. In the violet, that is the nucleus. Green colors, those are the ribosomes. Yellow color, Golgi apparatus, So, these are few important organelles which are present in the cytoplasm. Few of the things are present inside the nucleus, as we have discussed in the last slide, that all the genetic materials are situated inside the cell, inside the nucleus, and from the nucleus all these things are regulated. This is one more picture which shows the various organelles of the nucleus. If we will start from the center, there is nucleus, which contains the nuclear envelope, chromatin, nucleolus, endoplasmic reticulum, which is there outside the nucleus. It is of two types, rough and smooth. Rough endoplasmic reticulums, where the ribosomes are attached, therefore it is known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Mitochondria, it is the powerhouse of the cell, and many more organelles. In the further slides, we will discuss these organelles one by one. Organelles, the important organelles are nucleus, ribosome, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosome, vacuoles, and centrioles. First, we will discuss about the nucleus. Nucleus is the command center of the cell. All the processes like protein synthesis and other metabolic processes, all these are governed by the nucleus. Therefore, we are saying it is a command center. It is surrounded by the nuclear envelope, which is double membraned and 4-layered thick. But there are some pores in the nuclear envelope which allows chemical messages to move in and out of the nucleus. How come it is controlling? They are controlling all the cellular processes by means of some messages, and that messages transfers from the nucleus to that particular organelles through these pores. This nucleus also contains the DNA, which is made up of long strands called chromatin threads. Nucleolus present inside the nucleus, which produces ribosomes. This is a typical structure of nucleus. Let us see nucleus, nuclear envelope, and in the center nucleolus, and there are some nuclear pores, chromatin fibers, nucleoplasm, this is the structure of nuclear envelope. In that, nuclear pores are there. These pores allows the chemical messengers to go inside and outside of the nucleus. Second organelle is the ribosome. The protein synthesis factories. The protein is the bodybuilding material of our system. All the organelles, all the organs are governed by this protein synthesis. It is present on the endoplasmic reticulum, composed of RNA. These are non-membrane structures directed by the DNA. Endoplasmic reticulum, it is of bilayered of lipid used for the transport within the cell. It is of two types: smooth endoplasmic reticulum that does not have the ribosome attached and are known to produce lipids, rough endoplasmic reticulum have ribosome attached and are known for the both protein synthesis and lipid synthesis and transport. This is the typical structure of endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum, it is rough due to the presence of a ribosome. Therefore, it is rough, and the ribosome and the endoplasmic reticulum on which ribosomes are not present, those are known as smooth, and they produces the lipids. See, this is the microscopic structure of nucleus, ribosome and endoplasmic reticulum. Nucleus, and with the nucleus there are endoplasmic reticulums, and on the endoplasmic reticulum there are ribosomes. Therefore, these are the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Next organelle is the mitochondria. Mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. These are the site of aerobic respiration. These organelles capture glucose and use oxygen to release energy for the cell. They are releasing the energy in form of ATP. By using oxygen and glucose. Structure wise, these are the folded structure, or we can say the foldings within the mitochondria are called cristae. They use oxygen and glucose and produces the energy. Golgi apparatus, these are the packaging factories. These are the series of flattened, closely stacked membrane sacs near the nucleus that coats the enzyme. Lysosomes, stomachs of the cell, butts of the Golgi bodies as the cell needs. These are the small suicidal sacs are filled with the digestive enzyme used to break down molecules within the cell. These are the complex molecules enters the cell. Lysosomes surround food and digest it. In the previous class, we have discussed the metabolism. This metabolic process requires some enzymes, and those enzymes are present in the lysosomes. Apart from that, these lysosomes burn out the cell parts, food particles and viruses or bacteria. It means we can say these lysosomes are taking part in our immune system also, because they are killing these viruses and bacteria with the help of digestive enzymes. Vacuoles. Vacuoles are the storage vesicles found within the cells. In plant cells usually have large vacuoles, while animals have vacuoles that are small or even absent. That we can say these vacuoles are important for the plant cells. They can store the food, water or waste products. A contractile vacuole is a specialized vacuole to remove excess water from unicellular aquatic organisms. Centrioles. These are specific organelles which are only found in animals. These are two small bundles of cytoskeleton arranged at a right angle to one another and surrounded by dense cytoplasm. Centrioles aid in cell division in animal cells. Further, the second part is the cell membrane and its function. Cell membrane structure. The plasma membrane is a common to all cells, which separates internal living cytoplasmic from external environment of the cell. This is made up of phospholipid bilayer, external surface lined with hydrophilic polar heads, cytoplasmic surface lined with the hydrophilic polar heads, non-polar hydrophobic fatty acids tails sandwiched in between. This is a typical cell membrane structure made up of phospholipid bilayer. Outside and inside is the polar heads, and in between that is the non-polar molecules. For better understanding, there is a model for the cell membrane, that is the fluid mosaic model of cell membrane, having three components. Basic membrane referred to as phospholipid bilayer, protein molecule. Protein molecules floats around like iceberg on a sea. The membrane protein may be peripheral or integral. Peripheral proteins, which are found on the inner membrane surface, and integral proteins are partially outside and partially inside. We can say wholly embedded transmembrane in the membrane. Some have carbohydrate chain attached, and some cholesterols are also there in the cell membrane. See, this is the fluid mosaic model of a typical cell. Outside and inside there is a phospholipid hydrophobic tails are inside, and hydrophilic heads are both side, outside and inside. There are some carbohydrates, we can see in the picture in the yellow color, some glycolipids blue in color. Again, this is a structure that we have discussed in the last slide. Both the sides there are hydrophilic heads, and inside is the hydrophobic region. Hydrophilic means hydrogen or water loving. The things get dissolves in water, and hydrophobic, they are not water loving, water hating. What are the functions of membrane proteins? There are various types of proteins. One is the channel proteins. Those are tubular, that allows the passage of molecules through membrane. There are some carrier proteins. They combines with the substances to be transported and assist the passage of molecules through membrane. There are some cell recognition protein. They provide unique chemical ID for the cell. They also help body to recognize foreign substances. Apart from that, there are some receptor protein. In the previous class also we have discussed what is receptor, those who can receive and provide the message. These receptor protein binds with the messenger molecule and causes cell to respond to message. Enzymatic protein carry out metabolic reactions directly. Types of transport through the cell membrane, mainly two types, active and passive. Active transport are those transport which requires the energy for the transportation, and passive which doesn't require the energy. Active is an uphill process, like we are climbing on the hill, we require so much energy, and if we falls from there, we doesn't require energy. We automatically, due to the gravity, we can fall down. Passive transport, as we said, no ATP requirement, molecules follow concentration gradient, and active transport requires carrier proteins, requires energy in the form of ATP. There are certain types of transport. First one is the diffusion process. A solution consists of a solvent and solute. In the chemistry, we have studied solvent is a liquid form and solute is the dissolved solid which is suspended or solubilized in that solvent. Diffusion is net movement of solute molecules down a concentration gradient from one side to the another side. If the outside of the cell more concentration of solute is there, that will automatically transfers inside the cell by the process of diffusion. Molecules moves both the ways along the gradient. Molecules moves from high to low concentration, and when the equilibrium reaches, when the concentration of that particular solute is equal outside the cell and inside the cell, then the diffusion process will get stopped. Osmosis, this is a special case of diffusion, focuses on solvent movement rather than the solute. Diffusion of water across a differentially selectively permeable membrane, in that solute concentration on one side is high but water concentration low. Solute concentration on what other side but water concentration is high. In this type, water diffuses both the ways across the membrane, but solute cannot. And the previous one, solute was moving, and in the osmosis, solvent is moving. Net movement of water is towards the low water, means high solute concentration. Osmotic pressure is the pressure that develops due to the osmosis. There is another transport process that is known as carrier mediated transport, and then in that carrier is the protein. Facilitated transport, small molecules cannot get through membrane lipids combined with the carrier protein. For those molecules, those who cannot cross the lipid bilayer, for those there are some proteins which combines with those molecules and they can cross from one side to the other side, and they follow concentration gradient. Again, this is active transport that moves against the concentration gradient, combining with the carrier proteins and requires energy. Types of transport. One is the membrane assisted transport. Macromolecule transported into or out of the cell inside the vesicles. Two types, exocytosis and endocytosis. Exocytosis, when the vesicle fuses with the plasma membrane and secretes the contents, and endocytosis, cell engulfs substances into pouch which becomes a vesicle. Phagocytosis, it is when the large solid materials into the vesicles, that is known as phagocytosis. And pinocytosis, when the liquid materials or small solid particles go inside the vesicles, that is the pinocytosis. Phagocytosis is also known as cell eating, and pinocytosis is the cell drinking. There is one more transport, that is the receptor mediated. It is the specific form of pinocytosis using a coated pit. Cell junction. Cell junction is the concentration between the neighboring cell or the contact between the cell and extracellular matrix. It is also called membrane junction. Cell junctions are classified into three types: occluding junction, communicating junction and anchoring junction. These are the basic types: anchoring junctions, occluding junction, channel forming junction, and signal relaying junction. One by one we will see. First one is the occluding junction, a cell to cell junction that seals cell together in an epithelium in a way that prevents even a small molecule from leaking from one side to the another side. In occluding junction, it is also a tight junction. These are the closely associated areas of two cells which membranes joins together, forming a virtually impermeable barrier to the fluid. It is a type of junctional complex present only in vertebrate. It consists of linear array of several integral proteins. Junctional proteins occludes and clouds a membrane of integral protein. Superficially are transmembrane protein. Functions of tight junction: they provide the strength and stability, selectively permeable for the ions. Fencing function: it protects, it provides the cell impermeable, it maintains of cell polarity, it will form blood brain barrier. Therefore, in our blood, from the blood only few things can go inside the brain. Claudin 16 in thick junction of ascending loop of Henle, and Claudin 15 permeability of cations and anions. Adhering junction: these are desmosomes. Claudin hemidesmosome. Desmosome connects intermediate filaments of one cell with the another cell. There are some communicating junction. Communicating junction means, in the previous slide we have seen that the tight junction which cannot permeate the things from one side to the another side. This gap junction and chemical synapses, these are two types which can communicate properly, or we can say they allow permeation of molecules from one side to the another side. These cell junction which permits the intercellular exchange of substances are called communicating junction. These junction permits the movement of ions and molecules from one cell to the another cell. As we discussed, two types: gap junction. Gap junctions are cluster of intercellular channels that allows direct diffusion of ions and small molecules between the adjacent cells. At gap junction, the intercellular space narrows from 25 nanometer to the 3 nanometer. It means between these size, the molecules can cross from the gap junction. Gap junctions were first discovered in myocardium and nerves because of their properties of electrical transmission between adjacent cells, and the scientist was the Widman and Furspan Potter in 1957. These are low resistance intracellular junctions that allows passage of ions and smaller molecules between the cells. They are present in heart, basal part of the epithelial cell of intestinal mucosa, and some other places also. Junction units are connexons and 6 connexins. These are the junctional proteins. Connexons of one cells have alignment with the connexons of other cells. Functions of gap junction: as we have discussed, they allow material from one side to another side. So, these are the channel passes the substance have molecular weight less than 1000. They allow the exchange of chemical messenger between one cell to the another cell. The rapid propagation of action potential from one cell to the another cell. desmosomes. This is one type of junction, also known as macula adherens, is a cell structure specialized for the cell to cell adherence. These are the molecular complexes of cell adhesion protein and thinking proteins that attaches the cell surface adhesion proteins to intracellular keratin cytoskeleton filaments. The cell adhesion proteins of the desmosome are desmoglein and desmocollin. They are the members of the cadherin family. One of the cytoplasmic side of the plasma membrane, there are two dense structure called the outer dense plaque ODP and the inner dense plaque, that is the IDP. The outer dense plaque is where the cytoplasmic domains of the cadherin attaches to the desmoplakin via the placoglobulin and placophilin. The inner dense plaque is whether the desmolakin attaches to the intermediate filaments of the cells. So, this is all about the desmosomes. This is a typical structure of desmosome. These are from the cadherin family. Two cells attached with each other by the help of these structures. There are some chemical synapses. Chemical synapses is the junction between a nerve fiber, a muscle fiber, between two nerve fibers, through which signal transmitted by the release of chemical transmitters. Let us see, this is a typical structure of presynaptic nerve terminals and postsynaptic membranes. In between two, that is the postsynaptic membrane, between presynaptic and synaptic cleft. So, this is the structure, presynaptic membrane and postsynaptic membrane. These joint is the ideal example. Anchoring junction. Anchoring junctions are the junctions which provide strength to the cell by acting like mechanical attachment. These junctions provides form structural attachment between two cells or between a cells and extracellular matrix. Anchoring junctions are responsible for the structural integrity of the tissues. This is a typical structure. Classification of cell junctions. We have discussed all these: adhesion junction, tight junction and gap junction. Thank you for the today's class. In this class we have discussed all about the cell, their organelles, cell membrane structure, the process of transport, as well as the junctions of one cell to the another cell, and how come the things are transferred from one cell to the another cell. Thank you for the today's class.